Jazz hands. And we are live.
Oh my goodness. You know, if you could cut to something, jazz hands is like an amazing way to start. Welcome everybody to the pipeline. It is an auspicious day to have the three of us together. It is great to see you, Lorena and Kate. I'm Vicki Hart, Director of Client Engagement at Paradigm Marketing and Design. And over to it
depends on which way you're looking at it.
It's not
like you're dancing.
StreamYard does opposite. So Zoom does exact where, Zoom mirrors you.
Yeah, StreamYard does like opposite.
StreamYard does not. So when I think I'm going right, I'm going left, and I just look. So Lorena, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. I am Lorena Mosqueda, and I am the workflow strategist over at Paradigm Marketing and Design. And I do all things relating to workflows, CRMs, and creating efficiencies within your processes at your teams. Kate, she's below us right there.
I am.
I can point that because you're definitely
holla.
Yeah, we can't mess that up. There's not like she's over here. Oh, yeah, you're right.
I am Kate Conroy. I am the Vice President of Strategic Partnerships for the New Jersey Business and Industry Association, the largest statewide business association in the entire United States of America.
It's enormous.
I know, it's enormous. Yeah, we represent like 1/4 of all of New Jersey's employees. If you can like wrap your mind around that kind of a number. It's ridiculous. It's big.
This is what like the organization to know because it's not anything you're not involved in.
Yeah. Right. What I do is I run the events department, and I help members figure out how to start spending their marketing dollars when they're ready to get additional visibility via partnerships, which is what we call sponsorships. We don't want you to have a one and done sponsorship. We want to partner with you to grow your business and get some ROI and just grow in general. So that is what we do. That is what I do.
And we can attest at Paradigm the power of partnership. Right after the pandemic, we started our partnership with NJBIA, and it has been a juggernaut. It's just been an amazing partnership that benefits. It's benefited Paradigm in a million ways. I hope, Kate, you could. I hope
100%. 100%. Yes.
Yeah, we brought in a virtual networking platform. We've done so much with just introducing businesses within different parts of the state. Because let's face it, the state of New Jersey is so huge that we were able to bring in businesses that most likely would probably not have networked in the same circles.
That's right.
Totally. Well, I would actually venture to say, as New Jersey being the 4th smallest state, I would actually say it may not be, it's so densely populated.
Yes.
There is so much opportunity. And NJBIA helped us expand into pockets of opportunity where we weren't before. We were primarily focused in the Morris County and Northern Jersey area. So thank you for that partnership. We are thrilled to be here today on the pipeline. Please join us weekly now. All right, we're going to be here next week.
We're going to be weekly, but not next week.
Summer. It's summertime.
Take off the end of the month, so the 19th and the 26th we will not be here, but September we will be back, but we'll address that at the end. But nonetheless, in the pipeline, we are here to talk about how to build your pipeline, how to leverage relationships, and how to keep your business flourishing and thriving. So today, there's so many headlines in the news about recession, not recession, new name for a recession. I didn't know you could read
the definition of recession. It's not really what it used to be.
Is that kind of like when I say, like, maybe I'm not fat anymore, I'm just fluffy or something?
I'm big boned.
Yes,
big boned.
I'm big boned. I'm redefining what a recession means. So no matter how you look at it, all of our businesses will be impacted some way, shape, or form, whether the market is thriving, whether it is in some sort of flux, which we've all been experiencing. I think we can all agree that we are in some degree of flux. And from a marketing and sponsorship standpoint, one of the things that we see so much is that the first thing to get cut on the chopping block is marketing. And I gotta say, flag on the play. Ladies, what do you think? I think when there's blood on the street, you gotta run into the fire. But What do you ladies think?
People do like two extremes. It's either they're going all in on the marketing efforts and let's really invest in it. The time is now, or they're running the other way. Kind of like the stock market, right? When like it's down, instead of buying low, they're kind of running out, cashing out.
So silly. I totally agree. When the stock market goes down, I buy. That's exactly right. When the stock market gets cheap, you can get stuff that you can't usually get at rock bottom prices. Obviously, you should buy when the stock market goes down. And if you're really, really close to retirement, maybe that freaks you out a little bit, but it is what it is. What goes up must come down, and what is down will always go back up again. Let's be real. And I totally agree with you.
There.
Exactly. When the market goes down, when the economy goes sideways, that's when you double down on your marketing efforts, because what do you need to grow your business? Oh, you need business. You need business development. You need sales. What do you need to grow your business? Business, right? You want customers.
Visibility.
How do customers find you? Marketing.
Woohoo! So, and that natural reaction to like
contract,
to like, let me retract. Let me just like cut my expenses. Marketing, and you ladies have heard me say this before, it is not a spend.
No,
it is an investment. Yes. And when you think of it as a spend, it's going to be one of those first line items that gets cut where you're just like, oh, I don't want to spend any. Well, when you go away, people may not forget me today or tomorrow, but in 3 months, there is somebody out there with brighter, shinier feathers, if that's at all believable or possible, who's out there taking my limelight.
That's
and it's incumbent upon me to not let that go.
Yeah.
And so it's so important when that natural reaction is to hide, you got to run in. And when you're thinking about it as an investment is, Kate, and to your point that you said, it's like dollar cost averaging, right? Sometimes it's going to cost you a little more for customer acquisition. Sometimes you reap the benefits of the investments that you made before, but dollar for dollar, marketing done well, you should be experiencing an ROI, a return on your investment. And if you're not, maybe you want to do a
then you look at it. Then you look at it, but not if you are.
No, and we have to remember that marketing is the long game, right? I mean, it's not, you don't get instant gratification with marketing. It's a long investment. And that's why we call it an investment, because we say this so often, and I don't know if it really registers with everyone, but on a marketing perspective, you don't get that instant gratification. It takes 9 to 13 touches before you really reach your customer, your target audience. So if you kind of start to shy away and pull, by the time you actually want those customers to come back to you, that cycle is going to take a little while. So it's not going to happen so quick. So putting the pause, not necessarily the greatest move all the time.
Totally correct. And not to get too philosophical or woo-woo, but when things contract, I'm going to get woo-woo. Just bear with me.
Kate is raring to go today.
I really am. I'm overtired right now. And so I am on fire. When you make decisions based on fear, that's never a good thing. If the economy starts to go a little sideways and you pull back, you're pulling back out of fear, right? Like, let's be real. Nothing good ever comes from making a decision based in fear.
Including that piece of chocolate cake at 12.
Let's not talk about that. This was a safe space, I thought.
It is.
And I don't know if that's really a bad decision, because that soothes the soul. So I'm just going to say that might be a really good decision.
It's comfort. Okay.
It's a hug from the inside.
That's right. But you're to your point, you're totally right, because if you hit the pause button and it takes you 9 to 13 touches to reach your target audience, you're actually not really building that familiarity, that trust that your customers and your target audience needs to have with you. Instead, you're kind of falling back into the shadows. And by the time you want to come back into the limelight, it's going to take you a little while, because now everyone's going to be running for it at the same time. And you don't want to be one of many. You kind of want to stand out and shine a little bit on your own.
That's right.
Consistency. Thank you. And you bring up, when you talk about those 9 to 13 touches, often people are like they're like, 9 to 13 touches, but then they don't really aren't quite sure what those touches are. And
Right.
touches are not as complicated as you may think.
Right.
I mean, it could be they met you at a networking event. They saw you at the NJBIA summit that's coming up in September. They saw, they saw your webinar or your panel discussion. They, somebody referred you, or they went to your website. Touch. Each of those touches actually have a cumulative effect.
Yes.
And that's where you build your brand awareness. Brand awareness is driven by campaigns and things like that. And I'm not going to get technical. We have plenty of conversations to have about that down the line. But all of those touches, that visibility, really, I like to say it's, it starts to build up in like a good juju bank. It's the referrals that you make and the connections, all those great things that when somebody makes a connection to you, that's a touch point. Somebody's saying your name, your brand, they're brand evangelizing for you. That's like a big hashtag goal. But those things where people become familiar with you become absolutely invaluable because regardless, we could talk about how you need to stay in the game. There are going to be people that retract, and you want to be one of the ones still standing.
That's exactly right.
We also have to remember that there's like that, sometimes, let's just call it love-hate relationship between sales and marketing. Right?
I knew you were going to say that.
Oh, come on.
We don't know marketing department, Lorena.
But I'm just saying, in a lot of companies, there seems to sometimes be a love-hate relationship between sales and marketing. And it's always better when they're working together towards the common goal. Obviously, we all know that in theory.
Same direction.
Exactly. But in practice, sometimes that can be a little bit hard to do. But if you're able to keep, again, thinking the long term, keep thinking what that target audience is, keep thinking of those 9 to 13 touches, you're now able to work when there's not as many fish in that pond, right? To really pick the type of clients that you're looking to get and really bring from the marketing side the right folks that the sales team wants to actually be interacting with, which only helps everyone reach that end goal in a much faster and smoother way. So,
you bring up such a great point, Lorena, and I'm going to throw some statistics at you. When sales and marketing, so we always talk about sales to marketing versus sales and marketing. Sales and marketing implies that they're two different, sales is doing their thing, marketing's doing their thing, and hopefully something magical will happen. When you have that sales to marketing infrastructure, your marketing department, and they're working hand in hand, your marketing department has the opportunity to now tee up your salesperson for success, put that ball on the tee and drive it down the fairway so that your salespeople can be successful and work smarter, not harder. And so they're putting out I don't want to say less effort, but they're putting out very strategic effort to have more high quality conversations. And here's some statistics. When they work together, revenue is 32% higher. 32%, that's a third more. And with then you land 36% more customers. Who wouldn't want to grow their business by almost 40%? And you achieve.
Right. I don't think anyone's going to be raising their hand for that one.
I want to win. I want to win.
Exactly.
I don't want to win. Please don't let me win.
Please, no customers for me. No customers for me. Come on.
And because sales and marketing are working together, they're having more high quality conversations, which means their close rate is 38% higher. So we're talking between 30 and 40% impact on just having these two departments working together. And I will say, actually, we just sent out a contract to a client who they untangled, and I was so proud of them. They're a 20-year-old company. They untangled their sales and marketing and made them separate departments. Yes. And why is that successful? Because you'd be like, well, why isn't sales and marketing the same department? Because fundamentally they're different. Your sales department is your brand evangelist, and your marketing department positions and uses data so that your brand evangelist can go get to their target audience and have high quality conversations.
And to Kate's point earlier, right? You don't want to be making emotional decisions. You want to make data-based decisions.
Logic.
Ooh, so says the CRM goddess.
But yes, I mean, if you're not using data, like how are you actually justifying anything?
You're flying blind. Exactly. It's ridiculous. And I've always felt like the phrase sales and marketing is such a misnomer. It should be marketing and sales, because that is actually how it works, right? You educate the world about what you do, and then you release your sales. Exactly. Like sales and marketing is really good.
Yes. Isn't that from, what was that movie? Field of Dreams, right? If you build it, they will come, kind of thing, right?
Yes. That is so not true. That's what people think with a website. If I build it, it will come.
I know.
Not without some marketing activity.
Sorry. Without some things in the background. But you know what? To your discussion of your statistics and your metrics, I mean, first of all, obviously, whenever we can throw statistics and metrics, I'm going to be happy, because again, data geek over here.
Totally are data geek.
Right. I'm total data geek. But with that said, we're talking not only contacts and how many touch points it takes, or how many conversions, or how many customers, et cetera, but we want to talk about actual true metrics on the conversion rate. And a lot of folks disregard conversion rate, right? Because it's one thing to have a lot of inbound and a lot of activity with your leads, which is fantastic, because that's great. But you want to make sure you're measuring that conversion from actual just a figment of my imagination to somebody that's actually really going to be a potential customer. And how many of those are you actually closing? So there's two different conversion points you want to be tracking. And I don't want to get too crazy technical, but when you're doing those measurements and you're actually tracking that information, and you're staying active in the marketing game, and you're out there networking, and you're building your marketing brand, and you're using your marketing assets, the likelihood of you converting from one to the next part is probably going to be somewhere about 6 times higher than if you stayed behind the scenes and didn't do anything about it. Especially when it gets crazy. So
I mean,
preach.
The thing that we talk about all the time is, what is your sales cycle? Once you know what your sales cycle looks like, how long it is it 3 months? Is it a year? Is it 48 hours? Once you know what that looks like, then you can start to make predictions. And if you can shorten the sales cycle, think about how much money you can make with just all the business that's coming. Yes. How many more people? Right. Exactly. Yes. Oh my God.
Exactly.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm punchy today. I'm sorry.
No, listen,
this is why we do this, right?
I don't want you ever coming back here well rested. I want you exhausted and fatigued, because you are in fuego today, friend. In fuego.
Well, just make sure we book this after any big events that you have. That way she's like ready to like just go.
I am. I gotta stop, drop, and roll. I'm so on fire.
Ooh, you are coming with them all today.
Oh my God, I pulled that from 2nd grade, my friends. I just pulled that right out of 2nd grade.
Oh, you are awesome today.
Sorry.
Bringing it back a little bit, because we'll tend to derail, but bringing it back a little bit. The reason we're bringing this up is because a lot of folks, and I mean, I know that all of us are at networking events, whether it's virtually or in person, and we're all kind of hearing the same rumblings, right? Like, is it a recession? Is it not a recession? What should I be doing? What should I not be doing? And we want to make sure that, we're having that conversation, and we're kind of talking about the reason to stay. And if anything, put a little bit more in that bucket, because at the end of the day, you're going to reap those benefits. Not now, not tomorrow, but over that time frame that you need.
And not just because we're in marketing. I mean, like, do we benefit if people stay in marketing? 1,000%. Yeah. But the reality is the numbers, my numbers geek. Wait, my number geek friend who's over here, actually. We talk about this. There is data from the 2008 financial crisis so this is not just us like being like, look at us, we want you to market because we're going to benefit. No, everyone benefits. And here's why. I believe it was, I can't remember the resource right now, but that's not important. From the 2008 financial crisis, 5 years after, there was a study done. I want to say Morningstar, but I don't think that's right. But neither here nor there. Businesses that marketed through the crisis saw a 275% increase in business.
No joke.
Almost 300% increase. And businesses who did not market, and if they were still around, only saw a 19% increase in business. So which camp do you want to be in? Like where the proof is in the numbers. And that's one of the things about being a strategic agency. Listen, I always joke since, I'm director of client engagement, I'm out talking to people. Numbers are great. I don't know what to do with them. Lorena knows what to do with them. My marketing team knows what to do with them. And that's all that matters. I have other charms. Mine are not necessarily looking at data and saying, oh, this is how we do it. Let me tell you, Lorena is a walking calculator, as is my marketing team, when they're just like, this is going to get you the best return on your investment. And the proof is there. The numbers don't lie. So we have enough data from all these Black Swan events. And raise your hand if you're done with Black Swan events. I am. I'm sick of the pandemic. We had the financial crisis, the pandemic, terrorist attack, .com. These were all supposed to be Black Swan events. There's a lot of Black Swans out on the pond.
I think what we've realized, I think the one thing we've learned from this pandemic is not only that we need to understand our sales cycle for the long run, right? But we need to put more time and more investment in those networking events, in the marketing, because at the end of the day, Vicki and I, and Kate, we always say the same thing. You only do business with people you know, like, and trust. And in order to know, like, and trust somebody, you have to be out there meeting folks, and you have to be reaching your target audience. So if you're not doing that, then obviously it's not going to get you anywhere. So putting those activities into full use, whether the market is good and the market is bad, or whether there is a recession or redefined recession or whatever it might be, you need to have that visibility out there so that folks will know where to find you when the timing is right, because they may not have the money to pay for something now. But when that turns around and now the funds are available, you don't want them to go looking for someone. You want you to be top of mind. And that way they can reach right out and get something going right away.
That's another
exactly
preach, girl. Preach,
top
girl.
of mind. Preach.
That's right. Top of mind. And with that, I will mention that, while we know that there is a lot of networking going on, especially during the summer, I mean, it's been crazy because people were so happy to be back out in real life, in person, and getting dressed up, not just from the waist up, but like fully dressed up, right? Which was great.
Fully dressed up.
Right, fully dressed up. There is the opportunity still to network virtually. So it's not like you have to have a reason to stop just because things get busy or things get slow. There is always an opportunity. There's always a way for you to stay engaged. So
Lorena, do you have any suggestions?
I think maybe if you want to, on the fourth Monday of every month, you should join our Table for Four networking group, which is, again, totally free event. It happens the fourth Monday of every month at noon, 12 to 1. You get to be in a room of only 4 people. It's a virtual networking event that is sponsored by both Paradigm Marketing and Design and NJBIA as well. And we have a great time networking, and we do it twice so that you actually get the opportunity to meet 2 different rounds of folks. And again, because we keep it to only 4 people, it's a little bit more laid back. It's a little bit more natural. We're not rushed. You don't have 90 seconds. You actually get to have a real conversation because you're in the room for about 15 to 18 minutes. And it's great. And it happens every single month. So there's no reason why not to come and join us. So I'm going to put the link to register for that. But while we're talking about live and in-person,
and that next one is August 22nd. So that's coming up.
Yes, the next Table for Four is August 22nd at noon. But we do have 2 in-person events that are coming up. We have one that Vicki's going to talk about, and we have one that Kate's going to talk about. I don't know who wants to go first.
I think Kate needs to shine. Come on, Kate. You're like a bubbling. You're like a bottle of Prosecco ready to put up.
I am a little overtired, but that's okay. And can I just say for the record, I hope virtual networking never goes away. I always, every single time I do it, I meet somebody that is meaningful, that I develop an actual good, solid, strong relationship with, that leads somewhere important. I want it to go on forever and ever. I love it so much. That being said, we are having our largest event of the year. BIA is having our New Jersey Women Business Leaders Forum. After 2 years of being virtual, we are coming back strong. We are bringing the whole event to Atlantic City. We're going to be at Caesars Atlantic City. It's a 2-day event. Think of it as like 2 half days. So we start at about 11 o'clock day 1. We don't want anyone to try to break their neck getting there for a 9 a.m. start. Relax, have your coffee, chill. 11 a.m. start. We're going to start with lunch, a champagne toast, awards, and TED Talks. what is better than that? And then we've got 9 breakout sessions that first day after the lunch. Then we have a kickoff reception at Nero's Steakhouse. It's going to be amazing. And then the following day, we have a plenary session leadership panel, a couple more TED Talks. And there's a rumor that there's going to be a celebrity there on day 2. I can't say who yet.
We're
but
supposed to tell them I was going to be there.
Sorry, just dropping that there. And then we wrap up midday, recognizing that the women who attend are very, very busy. They have to get back to jobs and desks and kids and partners and all the rest of it. Yeah. So today's a very special day because today is the day that the early bird special expires. So if you haven't registered yet, you should definitely visit the website. You should register. I believe on Monday it's going to go up. If we can turn it off by midnight tonight, I think that's the plan. But busy is not even the word. Like, we are all over the place today, and it might just stay on for the weekend. By accident. Today is the cutoff day. It might stay on through Sunday. I don't know, but Monday, done.
We don't. That's the one because this would be different.
Celebrity?
I'm not telling you. I can't tell you that.
We have to take Kate out and cajole her into a truth.
Once we're not on air anymore, it will take very little cajoling.
Oh, excellent. So,
there we go.
For Lorena and myself. So that is so exciting. And actually, coming at the end of that week, R&R, Reconnect, Network, and Refuel. We are skipping August, as that is the time. I don't know about you, but I don't think that anyone's even in town right now. I think they abdicate
Europe is so cheap right now. Everyone's taken off to Europe. Like, everyone is in Europe.
Yeah, I think there's pent-up demand. Again, shaken bottle of Prosecco.
Yeah.
But R&R, Reconnect, Network, Refuel usually takes place every third Friday. But next month, there is an amazing Women in Business event happening at the Chamber. And it just so happened that we couldn't do the third Friday because Paradigm is having our in-person retreat, which I'm so excited for. So we decided to align it with the Women in Business event. And if you want to talk about amazing opportunity. The Morris County Chamber's Women in Business event is always a stellar luncheon. And you can check out them for all the details on that, because right now I can't remember, but I do remember our R&R
Day is a Women in Business event.
Will be on September 30th at Town Bar and Kitchen from 4 to 6 p.m. That is located at 80 Elm Street in Morristown, right across from the Morristown train station. It is a terrific way to reconnect, network, refuel. People work with who they know, like, and trust. And this is the opportunity to connect with people on a casual basis. Business opportunities happen when relationships are built, and nothing expedites that more than having a cocktail or two. It is cash bar. We do have sponsorship opportunities, and it is a great way to build and fortify your network. We are celebrating our 10th year for R&R. I am so excited and proud to be at the helm of this, and can't believe that we are still running at 10 years. Because whoever thought a bunch of people who were like, hey, let's go get a drink, could turn into something amazing. So that is it for me. What a great discussion today on the pipeline.
Love it, as always. And by the way, that event, the R&R, is happening the day after the women's forum.
Yes.
But I registered. I'm going to be just as tired as I am today right now.
Oh, she's going to be fun.
I'm going to be a mess. And you guys are going to have so much fun watching me network.
I'm excited. I will totally
watch her work. And that's WER.
It's going to be lit.
Yeah. So just as a reminder for all the folks that are watching us right now, again, we will be back on not next week or the week after. So we're taking 2-week hiatus.
No, we're back next week. That's the 12th.
Yes.
Next week is the 12th.
I'm sorry. I'm losing my mind. I apologize. I'm a week ahead of a schedule.
In the meantime, we're not here.
Goodness. Let's not even go with the move a meeting up or move a meeting down. I still get that wrong all the time. I don't know what is wrong.
We will be here the 12th. We are not here the 19th and the 26th.
Correct.
Yes. And remember that this is being recorded. So please, if you enjoyed the information you saw today, share it with your networks. And we would love to make sure that you are watching us. And if you've got thoughts, tips, or things you want to share that maybe you think we should be discussing, feel free to put them on the comments and we will make sure to check that out. With that,
and if you're wondering how you can hedge yourself in a recession, reach out to Kate, myself, or Lorena. There's opportunities out there, and we offer complimentary strategy sessions if you're ever wondering what your next step's going to be.
Yeah, we actually call them audits. So if you actually want to schedule, whether it's a marketing audit or a workflow audit, we're more than happy to do that. I'm actually going to drop the link.
Or a sponsorship audit.
I was going to get to that part. So if you wanted to do an audit with us, I'm going to put that on the link. If you're interested about how to join NJBIA, I put the link for the event in the comments, but I'm also going to put the link for the actual NJBIA membership, because let me tell you, discounts galore. If you're a small business, that's the way to do it. You want to make sure that you're actually looking into those. And most importantly, if you want to learn a little bit more about what we talked about in the beginning part of today, which was how do I actually stay involved in the marketing game during this crazy recession, not recession thing, we actually have a really great white paper on our website about it. So I'm also going to drop the link for that. So lots of information on the links. Make sure you check them all out. Make sure you share it with your network. And we hope to see you again next week. Take care, guys.
See you on the pipeline.